Afternoon, I'm Mark Mulholland. This is a News Channel 13 special report. Breaking news this afternoon. The Albany Empire has been kicked out of the National Arena League. The league says its board of directors has voted unanimously to terminate the Empire's membership. That's because the Empire hasn't paid its share of the league's operating budget as required by the league. And the league says Empire owner Antonio Brown refused to pay a recent fine. The Empire had until noon today to make its payment, but didn't make the deadline. And this is what the NAL said. After exhausting all avenues, the NAL Board of Owners has decided unanimously to terminate the membership agreement of the Albany Empire. Joining me now is sports director Roger Weiland, who's been covering the Empire more than anyone here over the past few weeks. Surprised by this at all, Roger?
No, I can't say that I am. Chris Godfrey is the commissioner. I talked to him just a couple of weeks ago, and he was telling me about some of the payment problems that have been going on with Antonio Brown, hoping that this would get back on the right track, and it just never did. The dollar amount that Antonio Brown owes the National Arena League is $21,000.
$21,000.
$21,000 is what he needs to pay, and that's what did not get paid.
He had a noon deadline today to pay those. The league has also fined him $1,000 for comments he made which were detrimental to the league. Do you see this being resolved at all this year?
No, I don't think anything will happen this year. I think Bob Belber will address this a little bit later on, the general manager of MVP Arena, because next year, could there potentially be a team, Arena League team? Absolutely. And yet Mike Korda, who was the prior owner who went into this with Antonio Brown.
He sold to Antonio Brown.
That's correct. And I've talked to Mike several times, and he has told me, look, I'm going to let this whole thing play out. And when it's all done playing out, and he felt like it might end like this, that he'd be willing to at least look into getting back into it with Bob Belber next season.
There are 3 home games remaining, including Saturday night at the MVP Arena, where Antonio Brown was supposed to play. That won't happen. You have to feel a little badly for the fans, don't you? The hardcore fans who have been showing up.
Well, we saw the build-up yesterday with him on the field practicing, and he looked great yesterday, right? So I'm sure there were some fans going, all right, this is it. I know he's going to play on Saturday. Let's go and see a game on Saturday night. Now they don't have to worry about that.
This tweet from Antonio Brown this afternoon at 1:24, shortly after the NAL made the announcement that the Empire were kicked out, he said simply, "Major League, not minors." What do you suppose he means?
A really good question. I know this. I have tried numerous times since this story broke within the last couple of hours to reach AB to say, hey, I'm sure there's another side to this. I'm sure you want to tell your side of the story of why you've been kicked out of the league. Let's connect. And I haven't heard back from him yet.
And you'll keep trying, I'm sure. Next year, a chance of bringing this, resurrecting this, do you think, or has Albany seen the last of Arena League football?
Knowing Bob Belber, the general manager, know how much he likes the Arena League.
And there may be a news conference this afternoon.
And there'll be at least a press release coming out here shortly. I think we will have an Arena League team next season, whether it be from another city who is struggling and knows that we support the Arena League, or whether it be another owner locally here that goes, you know, we're going to step in now and get this thing back on the rails, because we know what Arena Football League, we know the crowds that it can generate and the money that eventually, when you get it rolling, can generate. But it certainly didn't work out since Antonio Brown came to town.
Sports Director Roger Weiland, you'll have more on this as our day progresses. Thank you very much. Again, the National Arena League kicks out the Albany Empire today, effective immediately. The 3 remaining home games of the Empire will not be played at MVP Arena. We'll have much more on this, gathering reaction from fans. Roger trying to reach Antonio Brown. We're also hoping to talk to league leadership and the leadership of the MVP Arena. This is a busy news day. This has been a special report from News Channel 13. We now return you to our regular programming.